This video is part of episode 6, getting started with VoiceAttack, in our voice control series. In this video, we will go over how to set up continuous pointer control, which will emulate moving the pointer across the screen in a similar manner to moving a real computer mouse. In many three-dimensional games, such as Minecraft, the camera in the game is often controlled by moving the mouse pointer left, right, up, and down. Therefore, it would be helpful to have a voice command that can mimic this mouse movement behavior so that you can control the camera in-game. Unfortunately, using a direct coordinate command would not necessarily work, because you do not always wish to look at the exact coordinate every single time. This depends on where you are standing and what the current location in a three-dimensional game is. If you are already looking at the floor and you gave a direct coordinate command, it would simply make you look at the floor even more. Therefore, we need a new way of moving the mouse that takes into account the 3D nature of playing these sorts of games. This is where the continuous mouse movement option may be helpful to some players. It is worth considering that depending on the speed and accuracy required, not all games will be suitable for all players to play via this method. We will now talk you through exactly how to set up continuous mouse movement for controlling the camera in three-dimensional video games such as Minecraft. To begin, we can select Edit Profile and New Command. It is important to remember that in a three-dimensional video game, oftentimes moving the camera is effectively moving your character up, down, left, and right. In this instance, we'll create a command for right, which will move the mouse slightly to the right, and in-game this will turn the camera and thus the character slightly to the right. Our command word will be right, and once again, because we wish to manipulate the mouse pointer rather than selecting key press, we will instead select mouse and move. This returns us to the mouse move action screen, where we first entered our direct coordinate control commands. However, this time we are interested in the second half of the menu, where it says adjust the mouse cursor location, and we are given 4 options: move left, move right, move up, and move down, as well as the animate movement option we utilized in our direct coordinate control command. In this instance, we wish to move the mouse right, so we will select Move Right. And you can see that a couple things have changed. First of all, the Move to Coordinates option has been deselected automatically. And second, we are now able to type in the box the exact number of pixels we wish the mouse to move to the right. If you happen to know the exact number of pixels that you would like the mouse to move, you can simply type in the number in the box and select OK. However, if you are planning on using this command in a three-dimensional game, we highly recommend selecting the Move Using Relative Data option, which is useful for 3D games. As we select this option, we can see that pixels are turned into Mickeys. Mickeys is essentially an arbitrary distance rather than pixels or centimeters. So you simply move 1 Mickey, 2 Mickey, or 10 Mickeys as one set distance. This is particularly useful in three-dimensional games. On some standard-sized computer and laptop screens, the approximate width of the entire screen is roughly 1000 Mickeys. This may be helpful in giving you a first arbitrary number by which to measure the distance, although simple trial and error can work wonders. In this instance, we wish to move the mouse slightly to the right. Therefore, we will try 300 Mickeys. And once again, similar to direct coordinate control, we can either choose to animate the movement or not. If we do not animate the movement, the mouse will simply move very quickly across the screen. It may appear as though it is teleporting, but what is actually occurring is that it is just moving very quickly. In a three-dimensional game, this will result in your character spinning very, very fast, which may be uncomfortable for many players. So we highly recommend taking the animate movement option. There we can adjust the timings and the number of steps to help smooth out the transition of the mouse moving to the right. I recommend as default, if you were going to use a movement of 100 Mickeys, you should set the timing to be 4 seconds and the steps to be 90. The final option is ease movement. Ease movement is an interesting option. What it essentially does is as the mouse is reaching its location, it will begin to slow down. This can oftentimes make moving the camera in a three-dimensional game feel a lot more comfortable and a lot more fluid and natural than it would otherwise. With this box turned off, the camera will simply spin at a set amount and then stop dead at the location, whereas with ease movement turned on, the camera will move and then ease towards its location in a much more natural manner. Let's see what this looks like now. First, we will check that it's simply moving the mouse. So we have a command word right and the command move mouse 100 relative Mickeys from the current cursor position. So we'll go to OK, apply, done, right. As we can see, the mouse pointer has moved an arbitrary distance slightly to the right, or effectively 100 Mickeys to the right. Right. Let's see what this looks like in game. Right. 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 As we can see, every time we say the word right, we move slightly to the right. If we wish to move further, we can simply adjust the number of Mickeys that we will move. As this is a 100 Mickey movement, if we wish to move 10 times further, we can simply set it to be 1000 Mickeys. Thanks for watching. In the next part, we will go over 2 methods for how you may wish to implement continuous pointer control into your VoiceAttack profiles.